I got a free pumpkin from a farm my dad tried to burn down. Now I know why. I wake up with pieces of myself on the pillow now. Not blood or hair. Little flakes of me. They look like dried orange peel, and they smell faintly of cinnamon and rot. When I touch my face in the morning, my skin feels tight and waxy, like a cheap candle. It's getting harder to smile. The muscles don't want to pull anymore. It started with a pumpkin. Fucking stupid, right? Every year my family does the whole Halloween thing. My mom, Ilara, lives for it. She turns the house into some gothic nightmare for a month. My sister, Noah, is all about the costumes. Me? I just liked carving the pumpkins. The methodical scrape of the spoon against the pulpy walls, the clean slice of the knife. It was a ritual. The one person who never joined in was my dad, Abe. He'd vanish the second the pumpkins came through the door. Find some game on TV in the basement or just drive off, not coming back until the smell of toasted seeds was gone from the air. We always just figured he hated the mess. God, I wish it was that simple. This year, I was driving back from a job site way out in the sticks, the trees bleeding red and gold all over the hills. That's when I saw the sign. It was hand-painted on a warped piece of plywood, nailed to a fence post. The letters were a messy, blood-red scrawl. The Gourd Harrow. But the sun was setting, casting those long, creepy shadows, and I just felt drawn. I had a truck, I had time, why not? The turnoff was a gravel road that dove straight into a thicket of skeletal-looking birch trees. The branches scraped the top of my cab like bony fingers. The road ended at a gate. It wasn't cute or festive, it was wrought iron, twisted into the shapes of thorny, grasping vines. No speaker, no smiling scarecrow. Just silence and a single, rusted bell that clanged with a deadened thud as my truck rolled past it. The gate swung inward on its own. Inside, the patch was immaculate, unnaturally so. Thousands of pumpkins sat in perfect military rows. Each one was a flawless sphere of deep, fiery orange. No blemishes, no flat spots. The stems were all curled into the exact same shape. It was less like a farm and more like a factory floor. The air was heavy and still, thick with the smell of damp earth and something else, something cloyingly sweet, like overripe fruit. A clapboard shack with a sagging porch stood at the edge of the field. The Gourd Harrow, the same red script, was painted over the door. The windows were dark. The place looked abandoned. Looking for something special? I jumped so hard I think my soul left my body for a second. A man was standing right beside me. He hadn't been there a moment ago. I never heard him approach. He was tall and thin, dressed in dirt-stained overalls. His bald head was dotted with liver spots, but his eyes were the thing. They were a pale, washed-out blue, and they didn't seem to blink. He had dirt caked under his fingernails, a black, greasy soil I'd never seen before. Jesus. You scared the shit out of me, I managed, my heart hammering against my ribs. Folks say that, he said, his voice a dry rasp. He wiped a hand on his overalls, though it didn't clean it. Named Silas. This is my harvest. Keon, nice place. Your pumpkins are perfect. A slow smile spread across his thin lips. It didn't reach his eyes. Perfection is all about finding the right vessel. Let's find yours. He didn't ask what I was looking for. He just started walking, and I followed, feeling like a dog on a leash. He led me deep into the field, far from the entrance, to a small, secluded clearing where a single pumpkin sat alone on a bed of black mulch. It was the one, the platonic ideal of a pumpkin. It was huge, at least 80 pounds, and the orange of its skin was so deep it almost seemed to glow in the dying light. This one, Silas rasped, patting its smooth skin. The sound was a dull, hollow thud. This one's got your shape. My shape? What's that mean? He just stared at me with those unblinking eyes. It'll run you nothing. A gift. For a new customer. A free 80-pound supermodel of a pumpkin? My gut was screaming at me. Every instinct I had told me to get in my truck and burn rubber until I couldn't see this place in my rearview mirror. But my mouth said, "Wow, thanks, I don't know what to say." Silas and I lugged it back to my truck. As I was about to shut the tailgate, he put a hand on my arm. His grip was like iron. "A word of advice, Kian." His voice was low, intense. "Let it find its own face. Don't you dare touch it with a knife. You try to give it one, and it'll take yours instead." He let go. I just stood there, rubbing my arm where his fingers had been. He stared at me until I got into my truck and pulled away, the rusty bell clanging behind me one last time. When I got home, my dad was in the kitchen. The moment he saw the pumpkin I was rolling through the door, he froze. The coffee mug in his hand slipped and shattered on the tile floor. The color drained out of his face, leaving it a pasty gray. "Where?" he whispered, his voice trembling. "Where did you get that?" "Some new place off Route 9, called the Gourd Harrows." He made a choking sound and stumbled back against the counter. "No. Oh God, no." He turned and practically fled to his study, slamming the door and locking it. We didn't see him for the rest of the night. The next day, I found him sitting in the dark, a bottle of whiskey on the desk, half empty. "Dad? What the hell was that last night?" He wouldn't look at me. He just stared at the wall. "You broke the pact, Kian." "Pact? What are you talking about?" He finally turned, and his eyes were hollowed out, full of a terror I'd never seen in him. "I found that place when I was your age. Young, stupid. I went with a friend, Teo. We each took one of Silas's gifts." His voice cracked. Teo couldn't wait. He carved a big, stupid grin into his that night. The next morning, he didn't have a face anymore, Kian. It was just smooth skin, from his hairline to his chin. And his pumpkin was smiling at me from the porch, with his goddamn smile. My blood went cold. "I didn't touch mine," he continued, rocking back and forth. "I watched it for a week. I saw my features starting to sink into it. The divots from my eyes, the line of my mouth. I knew what was happening. I went back. I begged Silas. I made a deal. I gave him something. Something I can never get back. In exchange, he let me go, on one condition, that I and my bloodline would never return, that the debt would be forgotten. But you went back. You accepted a gift. You renewed the fucking contract. That was 3 days ago. I haven't touched the pumpkin. It's sitting on the back porch, and every time I look at it, it's changed. There are 2 dark depressions now, right where the eye should be. A long, thin line is starting to form below them. It's not being carved. It's hollowing out from the inside. My own face feels empty. When I look in the mirror, my eyes look like dark hollows. My mouth is a flat line. The skin around my nose and cheeks feels soft, pulpy. This morning, I coughed, and a handful of wet, stringy pulp and a dozen slimy seeds splattered into the sink. I can feel it happening. A slow, quiet scoop. I'm being emptied out, my substance migrating from me to it. I'm becoming the jack-o'-lantern. Hollow. Empty. Ready for a candle to be put inside. I'm looking at it right now, through the kitchen window. I swear, for just a second, I saw a flicker of light inside its empty eyes. A reflection of me. But it's not my reflection, it's my replacement. And it's starting to smile. I'm not.